Hey everyone, it's technology expert Burton Kelso here with another tech tip to help you get the most out of the technology in your life. Today we're talking about Windows and how Windows can potentially spy on you and track what you're doing. Windows 10 is a free operating system, and there's got to be a way that Microsoft is making their money back from this operating system. And that way can be spying on you and what it is that you do on your computer. Your Windows operating system is designed to interact with many of the software programs that you have installed on your Windows computer. So, do you want those programs spying on you? Probably not. You don't want that to happen. So, there are some things that we can do in order to make sure that Windows is not spying on you. We're going to switch screens like we always do and take a look at a Windows 10 computer and see what you can do in order to make sure that it's nice, safe, and secure. Alright, so we're at our familiar Windows 10 screen. What we can do is to change our settings is to go to privacy. So there's two ways that you can do this. First way is you can click on the Windows Start menu and then click on the cog over to the far left, which takes you to settings, and it'll open up Windows settings, and then you can go to privacy. Another way you can do that is just to go to the Cortana search if you have it below. Type in the word privacy and it will pop up, and there's privacy settings there. It's a really direct way to take you to how to change those settings in Windows. And that's one of the good things about Windows out there, is that there's many ways to do specific tasks. So back to our desktop. So once you're under general, under the privacy options, you can go ahead and change some of these settings to off if you don't want Windows 10 to spy on you. By default, these settings are on, like let apps use advertising ID to make ads more interesting to you. You can turn that off. Same thing with this one, it's default on. Let websites provide locally relevant content by accessing my language list. Don't know if you necessarily want that, so you can turn that off. Same thing with let Windows track launches to improve start and search results. You want to turn that off as well. And then show me the suggested content in the settings app. I went ahead and leave that on, but you can also turn that off too. Some of the things that you want to look at as well is the location services in Windows. Windows is designed to be a multi-platform operating system, meaning that it can work on laptops, desktops, and Windows tablets, which come in the form of your Surface Pros. Now, you sometimes might want location services if you are wanting geographically specific stuff. But if you're just using it and you don't want geographically specific items, you want to turn some of these location services off. So location service you want to turn off if you don't want the Windows tracking you. You can set a default location, but you don't necessarily have to do that. But also, here's the shocking thing. Here are some apps in Windows that can track your actual location, like the 3D viewer, the camera, Maps, Microsoft Edge, which is your browser, Skype, and there's a few other items as well. So if you don't want those apps to track you, you definitely want to turn those apps off. Now let's go to camera. Your camera can be tracked. So if you want to have apps using your camera, you definitely want to turn that off. Now, I leave mine on because there are specific apps that I don't mind that track the camera, but maybe you're mobile with a laptop and you don't want people to, or apps to log in and see what you're doing on your camera. So that would be a setting that you would probably want to turn off because you don't want people to track you, right? Let's move on. So after your camera, the other thing you can do is change your microphone. So there are specific Windows programs that I don't mind that access my microphone, so I leave that on. But if you're out and about, or if you don't want apps to access hardware in Windows, you definitely want to turn off the microphone setting so that your apps can't access programs in Windows. And there's some other settings too that you can turn off, like notifications, account info. You don't necessarily want apps to log into your account info, but there's a ton of settings under privacy. Most of these you can ignore, but the tops that you want to worry about are general, location, camera, and microphone. Those should probably cover it and keep you a little bit safe and secure when using your Windows 10 operating system. Now, I know some of you may be interested about the Windows updates that come through, but there's really nothing you can do about that. They kind of come down on their own. But the main thing that you don't want Windows to do is to kind of keep track of your habits when you're using the computer, and of course when you download third-party apps or programs on your computers. You don't want those to access specific hardware, like say your camera and microphone, for the sake of privacy. You don't want people or manufacturers peeping in on your webcam if you're using your computer, and the same thing with your microphone. You don't want people popping in on your mic and overhearing what you're saying when you talk. So keep those steps in mind, and I hope they come in helpful. So if you have comments or questions, leave them in the comment section below. Would love to hear from you to find out what Windows tips you'd like me to cover in future videos. And speaking of videos, I always bring this up. Be sure to subscribe to myself, Burton Kelso, the technology expert, or my company Integral. Let's see if I can, there we go. I got it right, there we go. There's our logo there on the screen, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channels. Both channels have videos, tons of videos that are designed to help you get more from the technology that you use in your home or your business. And I have to say this, that the Integral channel has a little bit more videos than my personal channel, just more tech stuff there. So take care of yourself and do many things to make you smile like I do, and thanks for watching.